With the recent addition of gold, diamond, solar, and black sky gear for rigs in Infinite Warfare, some of the more difficult head and body challenges are now being requested for challenge guides. One such challenge that I see quite a few people asking for is Warfighter's EDI body. Earn 500 score with a single combat focus activation 25 times. At first, this may seem a bit intimidating. However, once you get a grasp on the tactics and game modes, as well as one huge bit of advice that I'll be sharing, you should have no trouble completing this challenge with relative ease. So first up, the secret behind the scenes aspect of this challenge that likely is hindering your success. Most people undoubtedly will run the Hardline perk when going for this challenge. Hardline will add more points to your score when you achieve a kill. And obviously, more points earned with combat focus active would make getting the 500 score easier. Turns out, unfortunately, the bonus you receive from the Hardline perk does not count towards the 500 score needed for this challenge. Now here's where it gets even more confusing. I've seen several other YouTubers out there mention that running the Hardline perk for this challenge makes it not register at all, and this is 100% false. As I mentioned, the bonus you receive from the Hardline perk doesn't count towards the 500, but should you achieve enough score with the Hardline perk on regardless, it will count. Now just to prove this, I made a brand new account and tested it out. As you can clearly see, I'm at a fresh start with 0 out of 25 for this challenge. Now during the match, I had 3 instances where I achieved more than 500 points, all while running the Hardline perk. In the first example, I get 250 points for the first kill, then I get a second kill and receive 300 points, and finally a third kill that gives me another 250 points. So that's a total of 800 with the Hardline perk on. Now if we fast forward to the next clip, my first kill after the activation gives me 250 points, but then I also pick up a UAV assist for a total of 270. I then find and kill one more person before the time expires for another 250 points. So in this example, I had a total of 520. Now in this last clip, I find a guy camping his dick off for an easy 250 point kill. And then, after surveying the area for a few moments, I stumble upon another easy kill for an additional 250 points. My total for this third activation then is 500. Now after the match was done, I went and checked my progress. You can clearly see that I'm now at 1 out of 25 for the challenge. If we recap on my 3 activations, the first one was a total of 800 points, the second one was 520, and the third was 500. So as you can see, I achieved 500 or more score with all 3 combat focus activations. However, because of the Hardline perk bonuses not actually counting for the challenge, the second and third attempts did not register. So in Team Deathmatch without Hardline, you receive 200 points per combat focus kill. However, with Hardline on, you receive 250 points. Therefore, as you saw in example 1, you actually have to earn over 600 points to register the challenge. So without Hardline on in that first example, I still would have earned 650 points, which is why it registered. Hopefully all that makes sense. Basically, running the Hardline perk will give you a false sense of security for this challenge. But contrary to popular belief, it is still possible to register notches for this challenge. You just need a bit more score. Now with that said, to make things easier, you're better off not running the Hardline perk at all. So with that out of the way, let's talk tactics. There's 2 incredibly easy ways to complete this challenge, and then there's a handful of other decent tactics. Now rest assured, I'll be covering them all for you, as some of them are dependent on specific game modes that aren't around very often. So first up is arguably the easiest method. Unfortunately, it does require a game mode in the weekly playlist, which is Mayhem. Now if you haven't played Mayhem before, it's basically what I like to call newbie booby team deathmatch. When you die, your score streaks persist. This means that even the worst players can earn the highest score streaks. Now with that in mind, we can easily take advantage of this. I've been reviewing all the new score streak variants that were recently introduced, and one such streak is the Counter UAV Nova, which is the epic version of the Counter UAV. This is more or less the EMP effect in that it will destroy all score streaks currently deployed. All you have to do is run this epic variant, earn it, and then hold it until the middle of the match. Now obviously, even the best players will take about half the match to start earning the higher tiered score streaks. And trust me, that's all everyone runs in this game mode. You'll see Thors, Wardens, RC8s, and Apexes galore. So wait until there's at least 3 score streaks present. Call in the counter UAV Nova and then activate your combat focus. The EMP effect of the Nova is not quite instant, so you'll be safe to call it in first and then activate combat focus afterwards. If all goes well, you should earn 500 or more score in a single activation. Even if you fall short of 500, you'll still likely earn very close to it, which means you'll only need one kill to reach the threshold. It doesn't get any easier than this method, so keep your eyes peeled for when Mayhem comes into the weekly rotation. Now the second method again requires a game mode from the weekly playlist. This time, Hyper Team Deathmatch. Now in this game mode, your payload meter charges a whopping 7 times faster. This should guarantee you at least 10 combat focus attempts in a single match. However, there's also an additional benefit here. Remember, everyone else is going to be achieving their payloads at that massively increased rate as well. And just our luck, if you score a combat focus kill on someone who has their payload currently, you receive 250 points instead of 200. This of course means that you'll only need 2 kills. Even a subpar player should be able to work with these increased odds. Again though, you'll need to keep your eyes open for when Hyper Team Deathmatch comes back into the rotation. Now chances are when you watch this video, Mayhem and Hyper Team Deathmatch won't be available. So let's discuss the next best tactics. First of all, I have to stress the fact that you need to be using everything at your disposal to get that 500 score. What I mean is, don't hesitate to slap a Spartan launcher on and take advantage of the constant UAV and counter UAV spam. In order to maximize your point efforts, lock onto the aerial score streak, fire the launcher, and then activate combat focus. This will grant you a quick 150 points towards your 500 total, and you won't have wasted much time at all from your combat focus meter. Likewise, take advantage of any other score streaks you may be currently utilizing. For example, if you have, say, a UAV and a counter UAV, call those in first before you activate combat focus. Sure, you'll only get 20 points for each assist, but it all adds up. Now there's 2 normal game modes that make this challenge a lot easier. Most people simply try this in Team Deathmatch. Now don't get me wrong, this is also a great mode since you do get 200 points each combat focus kill. And again, if you happen to catch someone in their own payload, you'll get the 250 points. On average though, that still means you need 3 kills to surpass that 500 point threshold. By far though, the easiest mode to attempt this challenge in is Domination. The strategy is actually quite simple. I highly recommend using an LMG of your choice or a weapon that's capable of extended mags to give you a lot of ammo to work with. What you want to do is find an enemy's flag when you have combat focus available. When you begin to cap it, pop the combat focus. Now you may be saying, why not wait until right before you cap it before activating combat focus? And that's a fair point, but popping it as soon as you hop on the flag will benefit you twofold. First of all, when you're on an enemy flag, a combat focus kill will give you 250 points. And generally, when you begin capping an enemy flag, everyone in the neighborhood drops what they're doing and rushes blindly for it. This is why I recommended the LMG. You'll want to spray and pray to your heart's content here, and hopefully you'll get 2 kills in the process of capping the flag. Now secondly, if no enemies rear their ugly head during your capture, you'll still get the combat focus capture rate, which is a whopping 300 score. This means that you'll only need a single kill more to reach 500. And odds are, enemies are very close by if you didn't see any during the long capture process. Now if your team already possesses a flag you're near, simply lurking by it will also be beneficial. You'll still receive 250 points per combat focus kill simply by being in the flag's vicinity. Ideally though, you'll want to get that easy 300 point capture as well. Now if Domination isn't your cup of tea, then Kill Confirmed is your second best option. Even though you'll only receive 150 points per combat focus kill, confirming a tag with combat focus also nets you 150 points. Denying a tag as well as a teammate confirming your kill will give you 50 points. So as you can see, that 500 point potential can be incredibly easy to achieve if there's a lot of tags in front of you. Ideally, you'll want to wait until there's at least a few tags visible and then activate combat focus. Otherwise, it's 2 kills as well as their tags and you're already at your 500 bonus. But the fact that it's entirely possible to earn a notch towards this challenge without you yourself getting a kill is beneficial to those lesser skilled players. And that, as they say, is that. Now obviously, this isn't all the tactics available. Some runner-up methods include the grind game mode, hardcore, and frontline. In the grind game mode, simply collect 5 tags, go to deposit them, and then activate combat focus. Hardcore mode just makes getting kills easier, with the drawback being you'll also die faster. But I found hardcore domination to also be a viable strategy. Lastly, in Frontline, due to the bonuses in this game mode, you'll only need 2 kills. However, personally, I can't stand this game mode and I steer clear from it. So whether you attempt this challenge during Mayhem or Hyper Team Deathmatch, or whether you utilize any of the other tactics I outlined, you should be well on your way to completing this challenge effortlessly.